Hey there, what's up? My name is Azodi, and in this video I'm going to share with you my top 3 tips for writing a solid K-pop chord progression, and at the end I've thrown in a few bonus progressions for you as well. Getting the chords and progressions to sound right was one of the hardest things that I had to learn in K-pop. And over the years, I found other people who are learning find it very challenging as well. If you have any questions or would like me to cover a subject in a video, let me know in the comment box below. And without further ado, let's dive in. So my first tip for creating a solid K-pop chord progression is to use jazz chords. Any chords really that use sevenths, ninths, augmented, diminished, or generally anything that is different from the standard major or minor chord progressions. In my own experience, when trying to write bass lines or melodies, just simply adding a seventh onto your standard major or minor chord really changes the color of the sound. Here is a standard C minor chord here. Look what happens when I add the B flat here, the 7th. And then maybe throw in a 9th on top of that as well. So you got the octave, which is the 8, and then the 9th is the D there. Can you see how much it changes the standard chord sound? And that is a very popular technique used in K-pop. My second tip is to add more variation in your chord progressions. Just writing 4 chords for about 80 to 90% of the song is not enough variation, and generally in Korea you want to do a bit more than that. Another way around it is to simply switch up the chord rhythm. Since we're really focused on the groove, the drum beat and the bass line, I'm using the chords more as a way to enhance the groove and make it feel like it's bouncing more. So chords on their own. Can you see how they're different sort of lengths? They're played at sort of different velocities to make it sound a bit more natural. And then what I'll do is, in the context of the song, and really listen out to what the chords are doing in a rhythmic sense, okay? Kind of bouncy, aren't they? They're not always playing together. Sometimes they feel the space and the sound. They dance around the other elements, you know? And that's a good way to think about it. Try and think, is this going to make me nod my head? Is this going to enhance the groove, you know? Another quick win as well to have more variation in your chords is to simply apply chord substitution. Every chord has what you could call a brother or sister chord, and you can try and switch them out just to mix it up. Normally when the chord progression repeats, that's when I like to kind of use chord substitution. I've done a quick example. Pay attention to the orange notes. So this is the original. Now, C minor, the chord substitution for that is E flat major, and G minor is B flat major. Now have a listen. Now, it's interesting to listen out to because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's down to your own judgment, but they sound related. It's an interesting sound. Have a listen, pay attention to the orange parts. It's subtle, isn't it? And it kind of sounds related. It still feels like it works. And it's just a real quick win. I use a website, I think it's called Jeffrey Popper's blog. Yeah, just Google chord substitution and it's just a list and you just like switch them out. It's really straightforward, really quick, easy win if you want more variation in your chord progressions. My next tip, tying into more variation, is to have new chords for each section. It's really important in K-pop for each section to sound and feel different, especially to the listener. The reason why is it's generally more engaging, but also it works for different members in the K-pop groups. If each of them have a different responsibility, if they're a rapper, a singer, or dancer, a new section gives them a chance to really perform their part and feel different from the other members and their roles in the group. A&Rs are always listening out for this as well, but also they're trying to picture the song in a music video, and it's all about kind of just throwing in as many ideas as you can into one song. That's what makes it so awesome in this genre. It's just so much going on, and it's very creatively rewarding as a writer. To help give you a better idea, this is what I do. I will do a chord progression for verse 1, a brand new chord progression for pre-chorus, a brand new chord progression for A chorus, a new chord progression for B chorus, and then verse 2 I kind of get away with it, same with pre-chorus and the repeats, but then the bridge obviously will be different as well. Sometimes I like to do the Prince Max Martin technique of using the chords from the verse and then reintroducing it back in the A chorus, as long as you take them away with a brand new set of chords in the pre-chorus. Alright, at the beginning of the video I said there were going to be some bonus tips, so here they are. These are going to be some of the chord progressions that I've heard in K-pop. A very popular one is the 2-5-1 chord progression, used quite a lot in K-pop, and actually if you play it, it is the Game Over theme for Mario as well. It's used everywhere, super popular. Let me show you in C major. We start down here, D minor, so it's D, 5 for G, and then 1 for C. Then if you want, you can sort of jazz it up, add the 7ths and 9ths as mentioned previously, maybe switch in with a few inversions, whatever feels kind of good, and you can start getting stuff that sounds like this. And then you can do some crazy stuff like, and it kind of sets you up for like other positions, you know? Yeah, pretty cool. With the pre-chorus chords, this is a technique that I like using at the moment, is have a major 7th, then switch it for the minor 7th equivalent. Then what I'll do is from that minor 7th, I'll move up a 3rd and then repeat the process. So if we're in C major, major, minor, and then the 3rd note, which is the E flat, we just repeat it again, but from E flat major. Like that. That's a cool way to start a chord progression for the pre-chorus. Okay, so my final bonus tip is much more popular in J-pop, but you do hear it in K-pop, and it's a really cool technique to add a bit of surprise and interest to what people may find kind of predictable chord progression. So, yet again, we'll start in C major, and all we need to do is we take the major 5th of that scale. So we start, tell you what, I'll pull up this so you can see what I'm talking about. So start C. Now the 5th is the G. 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay. Now normally it's a G major. What you do, and this works in any major scale of course, is to switch it out for the minor 7th equivalent. So this would be G minor 7th. So G major, and we switch it out for this. Okay, now it takes a bit of practice knowing when to use it in the chord progression, but I find it works normally towards the end, maybe like a 3rd chord or the 4th. Let me show you an example in the context of a chord progression. Okay, so that, remember that one, okay? That's G there. Now with the new chord, nice, isn't it? I think it works really well. It makes the chord progression add a sense of character, and it kind of just makes you sit on the edge of your seat as opposed to having a predictable 5th chord played. So there you have it, my top 3 tips for writing a K-pop chord progression, as well as a few bonus ones for you to try out as well. Keep writing and practicing, listening to K-pop, as this is the only way you're going to get better and help you develop judgment on where to move your chords next. If you have any questions or would like me to cover a subject in a video, please let me know in the comment box below. We have a great K-pop producer Discord community full of mix engineers, A&Rs, top liners, songwriters, great group of people. I highly recommend you join it. I'll put a link to the Discord below. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you learned something cool, and for more tutorials like this one or anything related to Cubase, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you again soon.